going over the fiscal cliff. If they don't, many fear the country could dip back into a recession. 24-hour News 8's Heather Walker spoke to local leaders from both parties to get a feel for how close we are to meeting that deadline. Heather?
I spoke to Congressman Fred Upton and Senator Debbie Stabenow over the phone earlier today. Both are in Washington preparing to reach some kind of agreement. Hopefully tomorrow. That's when the House goes back in session.
The Senate will come to order. The chapter.
We all know it's at the very last moment, but maybe at the end of the day we can actually get something done. I've got some hope that it can happen.
Last minute is right. There are only hours left to save the country from going over the fiscal cliff. The Senate is expected to present a bill to the House tomorrow, but will they accept it?
I've had a couple conversations with some of the high senior staff, which lends me to think that we're in a little better position.
Republican Congressman Fred Upton from Michigan's 6th District thinks a deal could be reached as early as tomorrow. He says if we don't, the country will be in trouble.
I'm very worried that if we do, if the tax rates go up on everyone, we'd go into a recession fairly quickly, a double dip, and that's not something that our economy can take.
He says particularly here in Michigan, where we've seen a couple years of double-digit unemployment. Democratic Senator Debbie Stabenow agrees.
Right now, middle-class families are really being held hostage to this bigger debate about whether or not the country can afford additional tax cuts for multimillionaires.
If we don't get an agreement, she says the average family in Michigan will see their taxes go up $2,200, which is about 4 months of groceries. So will the House and Senate reach a deal?
At this point, we've not seen the House to be able to pass anything. I'm hopeful, particularly as we get closer to the deadline and people are now engaged. American people are speaking out and realizing what this means to them. So I'm hopeful that we can convince the House to act.
Hopeful, that's the word everyone is using. If a bipartisan deal is not reached, President Obama has asked for a bill to go on the floor which would stop tax hikes for those making less than $250,000 and extend unemployment benefits. However, the Senate and House would still have to pass it.